lived in my office in Washington. I asked Pete Hoekstra after I got elected, I said, Pete, I understand that you've slept in your office for 14 years while you've been in office. And he said, yes. And I said, how do you like it? He said, are you slow or what? He said, I lived in my office for 14 years. I must have liked it. I said, well, I guess you're right. So I lived in my office, blew up in an air mattress every night to put a sleeping bag down. That's how cheap I am, or efficient. But it worked real well. Didn't need a car. I was at the office on time every morning. I was office the last one to leave at night, and I didn't leave. And it forced me to go to gym every morning with Rahm Emanuel and get exercised before I could shower and shave and come back to my office. So those little things, I think, allowed me an ability to remember that my home was back in the 7th District in Washington. And I think that's important. Or else you get caught up with the Potomac fever, and all of a sudden, right seems wrong and wrong seems right. And the taxpayer is just someone to milk for more and more money. In almost every meeting, I read this statement, and I read it to you as an object lesson. I could quote it from memory very easily. But I want this to be an object lesson, so at any point in time, should you give me the privilege to be re-elected and to represent you in Congress, that you can walk up to me, should you at some point in time hear something I say, or see something I do, or see a vote or a consideration for a vote that says, wait a second, is he walking away from what he told us he would do and what he'd stand on? And so let me just give you a summary. In this statement here of where I stand, I say I'm Tim Walberg, and this is where I stand. I stand for our founding principles, belief in God, our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, and Bill of Rights. I stand for freedom to start a business, so to choose your own doctor, what you drive, what you eat, to carry a gun, to teach and raise your own children, and to live your own life. I stand for personal responsibility. Let's encourage common sense, good behavior, and discourage bad behavior. I stand for limited government. That includes limited regulation, limited spending, limited taxing, and limited borrowing. And I stand for life and all other American traditional values. Again, the fundamental difference between Mark Schauer and myself on these issues is that while he believes in the power of big government, I believe in the power of people, of big people that Reagan talked about. American exceptionalism that allows us not to speak the words I've heard too often in the last number of months. Today is our 1-year anniversary. My wife rolled over this morning and said, Tim, happy anniversary. I said, you gotta be kidding. I don't miss our anniversary. It's in June. She said, no. July 14th was when we announced to run for this office. 1 year to the day. Anyway, I appreciate you coming tonight. Those are the basics of my campaign. Continue it on. So far we're doing very well. We're leading in the polls, both in the primary and in general. You can see that the Pants field is good. The signs are going up. The Orange Crush, if you've seen it, is multiplying all over this district, all 7 counties. We can use help if you choose to help us. You can take a bumper sticker, as many as you need for your car and your neighbor's cars, if they give you permission. We have brochures here, pamphlets, and you can tear this off and leave it tonight with Kent. Kent, where'd you go? Kent, my campaign manager. You can say, I'd like to have some yard signs, or we've got yard signs here so you can take them. I'd like to volunteer. We have all sorts of ways that you can volunteer. It'd be great help to us. I'll host a coffee or a tea or a meet and greet like this in my home with my neighbors, with my family, with church members, whatever you would like to do, Kiwanis Club, club members. We'll help you on that. We have a person assigned just to work with meet and greets and coffees. I'll host a fundraiser. If you don't want to host a fundraiser, we'll certainly take a check. I got 2 checks when I walked in tonight. This is a nice place. But if you'd like to help us, we've had contributions between $250 and $9,600. That's the max you can give as a couple is $9,600. So don't give any more. But anything in between will be very helpful to us. And it all goes into making a campaign work. Mark Schauer's raised, I'm sure, he'll report, I believe tomorrow is the reporting period. And report well over $2 million raised. We've had to expend funds for primary cancer. And so we'll be behind on fundraising, that's for sure. But I've always said that it takes more money to hide a bad record than to run on a good record.
That's right.
But we do have to have resources to get our message out. So any way you can help us there, that would be greatly appreciated also. If you'd like to be on our weekly email list, we do it generally just once a week. Occasionally we'll send out a special update, but generally just once a week, so we won't fill your email boxes. But it'll give you an idea of what's been going on this past week, what are the issues, some of the things we've been involved with. Give us your email, and we'd be glad to get that out to you. Kent, did I get everything?
Get it all.
I'm getting better at it as we go on.